Good evening, gentlemen. How's it going, everybody? It's Monday night. It's the 7th of August. It's 9 o'clock, and the nights are drawing in. And anyway, even the weather might just be getting a little bit better, but I wouldn't count on it. I'll be watching this on replay. Hello, good afternoon, good morning. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll stay to the end. Cheers. Okay, so this is Steady Eddie here. Start of a new week. I'll just say hello to a few people. Donald Trump, we have the president in the house. Nice to hear from you, mate. Sceneries. Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas, I'm putting that on the screen. Nicholas is in Hanoi. It's nearly 3 a.m. there. Oh, well, good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Let's just get a bit of fluff off it. I've only just woke up. I've been sleeping in the evening time. So just woke up. So I just got fluff all over me from the bed sheet. Anyway, Nicholas, Hanoi. Nearly 3 a.m. here. 6 hours ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, good for you, mate. Anyway, tell us a little bit about Hanoi. It's a nice city. Good for you, mate. Leeds is here. Barry from EastEnders. Barry is craving a pad thai. Okay. Lord of Dreams. Nice to hear from you. Woofy Nuns. UK is horrible. Okay. I do believe in fairies. Skegness was a grand day out, Eduardo, but my next beach promenade will be in Pattaya. From Skegness to Pattaya, okay. Who would trade Pattaya for Skegness? I've never been to Skegness. Martin Ryder. Let's see now. Sip of hot chocolate first, please. Yummy. Martin Ryder, does anyone see that article in the Daily Mail about a 60-year-old monger and his son getting beaten up by Thai bouncers in Pattaya? I didn't actually see that, but I did hear something. I think Nick and Martin were discussing something like that on their stream about bouncers. Bouncers are supposed to, they're supposed to be subtle, but no, I didn't actually see that one. Ginger, AJ and Gemini Star about there. Nice to hear from you guys. Ginger Joe Martin, yeah, I did see and video and brutal. I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen it. Ginger Joe, nice to hear from you, mate. Mark Ollick, nice to hear from you, mate. I hope all's well out there. I hope the weather's holding up well in Minnesota. McLaren F1, nice to hear from you. Let's see. Yeah, Yogi Bear, good evening, Edna, in the chat. Is it right to stop us using cash and the barges starting to fill, but the illegals are now using bigger and better boats? Well, you know what they all say. We're going to need a bigger boat. This is crazy, and it is crazy. I mean, the barge. I've seen pictures of the barge. I seen it was on the news today. This bloody big prison barge sort of thing. Apparently, it's going at a snail's place. A snail's pace, I should say. I mean, they are being led onto the barge like Noah's Ark. The animals went in two by two. Hurrah, hurrah. Okay, they're being led onto the barge. Apparently, it's going to house about 500 people. So, what about all the other thousands that are coming over? Listen, if it puts the message out that Britain is not a soft touch, it's actually showing the world that we're actually doing something about this. I noticed the word soft touch used, on the news about all of this, and we need to get to the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty is the word soft touch. Britain is perceived as a soft touch. At least if we can be seen to be doing something, it may just act as a deterrent. So, as for the other bit, is it right to stop us using cash? I think it's going to need a bit of cash for a little bit of trivial stuff. When I use cash in taxis, and I don't really think I use it for any other purpose, to be honest with you. Martin Wright, we've all been naked on Pattaya Beach at least once. I haven't. Am I missing something? If you haven't bloody moonlit orgies on there, I've missed her. Carl D, nice to hear from you. Ivan, Crypto Chris House, nice to hear from you. Harry Holt, nice to hear from you. Good evening, as I've been missing in action. Hope you've been okay, and all the other members. Okay, well, nice to hear from you, mate. Anyway, nice to hear from you. David Martin is here. Good evening, mate. Capitonian, even from Cape Town, Eddie, and all. We're going to have to do something about South Africa. I've never been to South Africa, but it's been in the news quite a lot. Well, in the reports, quite a lot, really. A lot of problems, obviously, from Cape Town. Maybe you see it differently. Maybe you've got a different story to tell anyway. So please let us know about it. Yeah. Bottle Baby is here. Let me just see. Oh, I've got a super chat. Fine, thank you. Running easy, running club. Good evening, lads. Hope you well. I've got a nice super chat. Thank you. That's very, very generous of you. I'll drink to that. Hot chocolate. 4 months off the booze now, and I'm drinking hot chocolate. Oh, that is so damn good. As the winter comes in, I'm going to appreciate that more. Thanks for that super chat, mate. I really, really do appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Nicholas, not good in Hanoi. Too much bad weather here. What month are we in now? We're in August, aren't we? I would have thought in the north of Vietnam, this would have been, the more settled weather. I mean, in the south of Vietnam right now, that's when you'd expect bad weather at this time of year. But you're going on Friday to Laos. Well, it's the rainy season in places like Laos, you see, at this time of year. So it's if you want good weather, I think it's a bit hit and miss this time of year. But at least you're making the effort. Good for you, anyway, mate. Good for you. John Mitch. Hi Eddie, how's things? No, it hasn't rained for the last few days, and the word is that there's actually going to be some sunny weather coming up. I've actually seen a bit of a blue sky the last couple of days, and I thought, what the hell's? Oh, that's the colour blue up there. That makes a change. No, it's been all right. Nice to hear from you, John. Crypto Chris card. Tesco has cut 3 cash machines to one. I mean, the thing is, where I live, or even the garage is close to where I live, I always have to look over my shoulder and check my surroundings before using a cash machine. There's usually some dosser hanging around there, or scally or skanky. He wants to borrow money from you, or which he's got no intention of giving back. You have to, it's all right saying saying 3 cash machines to 1 cash machine. I think the safety of cash machines is more of an issue. Martin Ryder, illegals won't use the barge because they say they have a phobia of water after crossing in a dinghy. Okay, fair enough. Bottle Baby, then there's that other chef guy in Pattaya who cut up his lover into. Oh, Jesus Christ. That sounds like something out of a horror movie. That does, mate. Paul Hoskin, they're thinking of sending the migrants to Ascension Island, 4,000 miles away, just out them on a Scottish island. Yeah, but that's not fair to Scotland, though, is it? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm sure the Scottish would approve of that. Fourth, where is the exact location of the Ascension Islands? I don't know that one. Whereabouts is that exactly? I'm still waiting for them all to bloody go to Aranda. But the fact is, they've got this barge, and it's an ugly, dirty, big bastard of a thing. And that news report, because social media is across the world, these asylum seekers, these illegal immigrants who come from these countries because they heard the dinner bell ringing, they will be seeing that on the news, and it might just make them think twice. The barge doesn't house that many people in comparison to how many illegals are heading this way. But if it acts as a deterrent, if it acts as a visual deterrent, then at least it might start doing something. Apparently, I heard something about there's 15,000 illegals coming across the water so far this year, but that's about 3,000 down on this time last year. That's what I heard somewhere. Wayne Kerr, nice to hear from you. Hi Ed, I'm celebrating tonight by giving up a TV license and saving 160 quid each year. What will I lose? A load of rubbish live TV. I don't watch any terrestrial TV. I'm not linked into it. I don't watch it. Load of crap. Stephen Tutty. I've missed the stuff about Thailand, funnily enough, this week. I've seen the news about the murder in Thailand this week by the son of a famous Spanish actor. Apparently, he chopped his Colombian mate up into pieces. I think it happened during the. God, this is sounding horrible, this, isn't it? This is all sounding awful. Toby Price. I think Thai bouncers take a lot to get rattled. The lad was probably out of order. Yeah. I mean, I can't comment on it, but it wouldn't surprise me. Matthew Cartwright, good evening. Yogi Bear, good evening, mate. Shin Rana, nice to hear from you. Okay. Lester Bangs, greetings from the Bibby Stockholm Barhead. I'm hiding out in Stowage. We set sail for Albania in an hour's time. Okay, well, have fun. Oh, you got plenty of nice food and drink on board. Who's this? Sean Young. I met this bird. She said, my fanny big, isn't it? I said, yes. Have you had your coil fitted? She said the size of it. I've had carpets fitted. Okay, good for you anyway. Good for you. Paul Hoskin, if you want the girls to leave you alone in the go-go bar, what do? Wear a t-shirt saying I've got no money or I'm not buying anyone any drinks. They'll leave it alone. English, Simon and Siam. Simon, yeah, Paul Hoskin, tell them you're gay. Okay, fair enough. Englishman in Malta, I had even been awful windy for a week now. Englishman in Malta, well, I would have thought Malta would be a lovely climate at this time of the year. But nice to hear from you, mate. Englishman in Malta is in Malta, and he does a great videos, a great travel channel from there. So nice to hear from him. Kiki and Jasmine, nice to hear from you. Kev C, Ed, just in Pattaya, I got Fitbird here, going back to my hotel. So have a good evening, mate. I know I will. Good luck to you anyway, you jammy bastard. Good for you anyway, mate. Have fun. Harry Holt, anyone caught inviting illegal immigrants to work here will be fined threefold. Yeah, I've heard all about this, haven't I? I mean, the thing is, if you go to a car wash, I mean, some of those people. I used to take my car to a car wash, a while back, and some of the people who worked there came from not only somewhere outside of the European Union, but also a country that I couldn't properly pronounce. Turkmenistan or somewhere like that, you know what I mean? Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I went to a car wash, where all these female topless females were there. And I was going to this this car wash where these topless bears were there every day of the week, and I haven't even got a car. Okay. Let's see. Paul Luskin, I bought my Thai girlfriend clothes gold, a house and a motorbike, but I'm proud to say I've never paid for it. Okay. You're not secretly Gaza, are you? Crypto Chris, the Scottish National Party want to send them to Scotland. After a few thousand, they will be saying they can't go, just like Chicago and New York. Oh, what the hell's bloody going on? What the hell's going on? Yoz Travels is here. Yoz Travels, internet is useless here in third world Spain. Buffering every second. Need to move from the beach. Okay, well, good for you. Now, Yoz Travels was on this show last week, and he was a great guest. He was just embarking on his travel. He's been through France, and he's in Spain now, and he's traveling around. And some of his Facebook posts, not only the pictures being great, but also he's got some great information. And I've seen a Facebook post of his which is really, really, it makes you realize how expensive Europe is in comparison to Thailand. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow night, if yours can come on again and tell us about the cost, about all the stuff you posted on Facebook, because it's really, really interesting. He's mentioned the cost of tolls, road tolls, and hotels and everything. And he's compared it to Thailand, and how cheap Thailand is in comparison. I know we do a lot of complain about Thailand and those countries, but they're still a lot cheaper than yours. So hopefully, if yours can come on tomorrow and tell us all about it, it's really, really interesting stuff. So anyway, and hope all's well. Anyway, yours. BB isn't Ascension Island where they sent Napoleon. Oh, okay. I'm not actually sure where. John Mitch, Ascension Island is smack in the middle of the South Atlantic, between South America and Africa. Well, that will be smacking them. That will be in the. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm all for that. Send the nice people there. Send them there. Send them there. I'm all for that. But I think we've got as much chance of getting them there as we have getting them to Rwanda. But well, I'll believe it when I see it. But thanks for that anyway, John. Yogi Bear, Ed, we are paying the French to stop them. The ones that make it, dump them back on the French beaches and tell the French, here's the ones you missed. Now, did I see a story today where the bastards, the smugglers, actually attacked the French authorities, and some of the French police, were hurt and injured. So they're getting nasty. They're getting nasty, but we need to give them a visual message. And this barge is, even though it won't solve so many problems, it will be a visual message. This is what you're going to get if you come here. It's good to give them a visual message. Stay away because this is what you're going to get. So, they are at least trying to do something. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Capitolian. It's lovely down here, Ed. Just don't go wandering down any dark alleys. Weather is great, though. Currently having some taxi vans in Cape Town, so stayed off the road today. Some taxi vans. That's not good. We got bloody plenty. We got plenty of violence in this country here. Absolutely dreadful. I was watching some reports. Yes, and this was in America. Armed robberies, people walking into restaurants and robbing people at gunpoint and all. The world's full of violence. The world's full of bastards. It really, it really, really is. But yeah, I've heard Cape Town is a very, very nice place. So anyway, thanks for your info there. AJ, Ed, I think Ascension Island is close to the Falklands. UK planes used it in the Falkland War. Yeah, that's where I've heard the name. That is where I've heard it. That's where I've heard it. The Ascension. That's where during the Falklands War it came up a lot. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Toby Price, Ascension Island is in the South Atlantic. It's a British base on the way down to the Falklands. Yeah, absolutely. That's actually, I've come up with another idea. Seeing as it's down that way, and it seems it's a British base, if it really is British, as the Falklands are the British, then instead, why not dig up the Channel Tunnel and point the Channel Tunnel in the direction of the ascent? Elongate the Channel Tunnel, and when you come over here, they're going to be on a tunnel. Is that a good idea? No, I don't think that's a good idea. So I don't think it's a good idea. Vincent Vincent Submarine Ismo. Good evening. Any travel plans? I haven't got travel plans yet, but I mean, I've been doing a little bit of I'm starting to miss Thailand and Pattaya. Let's put it that way. And it's going to be during the winter time. Well, we'll see. Right now, I've been off the booze for 4 months, and I want to see how long I can stay off the booze. Really, to cement what I've done, to prove that I've got it under control. But Yeah, I haven't made any travel. To be honest with you, I mean, I've been looking at, European place, but it's too much hassle traveling this day and age. And like I said, after what Yoz was posting on Facebook, it just looks like a lot of expense and a lot of hassle. I think as far as Europe goes, I think my traveling days are over. But Thailand, definitely, yeah. I'll still be going to there and Cambodia and Vietnam. Apparently, Vietnam has got a 3 months, 90 days tourist visa nowadays. Bottle baby, topless car wash. Now, there's an idea I would invest in. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Paul Hoskin. I'm thinking of opening a naked car wash for the ladies. Rub my cheeks on the way. Dirty, dirty old man. Dirty old man. Brad Russell, send them to the Falcons, let the Gurkhas look after them. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yourselves, I've moved to I have moved to near the car a little better. Still slightly buffering. I have two unlimited sims, EA and Vodafone, still slightly buffering. Well, if you could come on tomorrow, yours, it would be great because I'm sure, like you got a lot of great info. If you could possibly come on the show, we'd love to hear from you. Really would. Ivan says, Ed, have you ever been to Tanzania? I've never been to Tanzania. The only African country I've been to is Ethiopia, which was fascinating. It was a fascinating, but yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've all the interesting places. When I travel in the future, I'm going to be going to not so much interesting places as enjoyable places. I want to be, even if, at the risk of going to places where I've been before. I want to go to a place which I'm going to enjoy. To be honest with you. Let's see. Citizen Mikey. I was in Dublin last week. It's a rough night. It's rougher now with the dengue, man. They had the Islamic call of prayer. Okay. Let's see. William says the French are in it with the smugglers. They'll be getting backhanders out of it as well. Okay, fair enough. Crypto Chris card. Ascension Island is not a serious. No, it doesn't sound very serious, that one. It's not a serious proposal, just like Rwanda isn't. It's all for show, and they'll end up staying here. Well, take each day as it comes. Take each day as it comes. John Mitch says the barge is much better than the tent in France. Good point. Good point. Harry Holt, the cost per week to house immigrants is bonkers. Talking 10 millions a week. I know it's ridiculous, absolutely bloody ridiculous. Yeah, Seamus Doherty. Hi, Eddie. Do you think Walking Street in Pattaya is overrated? And no, I love Walking Street. I mean, it became a few years ago before the pandemic. It became fashionable for people to knock Walking Street, especially older people who go to Pattaya because they were going to Cyber Cow and Cyber Cow really became the in place to go. Whereas a lot of them, became popular to say, I don't go to Walking Street. That's too touristy. That's for Indians and Chinese, and it's too touristy enough for me. I still think that Pattaya, Walking Street, it's more expensive than elsewhere in Pattaya, but you get what you pay for. You do get a better quality of entertainment in Walking Street than you do elsewhere. The live bands, the go-go bars, they're all better in Walking Street and these side shows. I mean, those live bands that you get on Walking Street are better than anything you can get elsewhere in Pattaya. So I like Walking Street. I still like Walking Street. Yeah, Nick Ross, lots of beautiful girls in Cape Town. Greenpoint Road, lots of freelancers. Okay, nice to hear from you, Nick. Stephen Tutty, Italy receives way more immigrants than the UK, mainly coming from North Africa. It's a huge problem for the EU. I think yours has something to say about that as well. Yours is in Salou in Spain, and he mentioned something about that sort of thing. Hopefully, he can come on tomorrow and tell us about it. Yogi Bear, Ed, they could fill the barge and tow back to France and tie it up in Calais. Yeah, but what happens then? Do they throw them all off the barge and bring the barge back? Yeah. Sean Young just had a week down Isle of Wight. Weather was shite. Ill in September and then a month in Vietnam in April. I love it. Okay, fine, absolutely. AG, Ed, are you still training on your bike? No, I'm actually doing very, very little exercise. I'm cutting down. Well, I'm cutting down a little bit of my food, and I'm not drinking alcohol anymore, which has meant that I've lost a few pounds. I don't know how much yet, but I've actually done very, very little exercise, funnily enough. Paul Hoskin, the bar girls call me the dentist because I tell them to open wide. You dirty, smutty old man. You dirty, smutty old man. Okay. Daniel Kelly, send them to the Falklands. Okay. That's not fair in the Falkland Islands, though, is it? Crypto Chris, the barge is only a temporary home. Then they'll be moved to their own property. The government are paying companies to outbid British people in the rental market, driving up the rents. Okay, fair enough. Fair comment. Toby Price, do you think Rishi talking about immigrants is a bit of a hypocrite? Listen, a lot of immigrants are good people and contribute, to society. They come here, they work, they raise families, their families work, they contribute to society. So a lot of, I don't think he's a hypocrite. I mean, if he does a good job, we'll give him a bit of time just yet. But I don't think he's a hypocrite for that reason. It's a lot of hypocrites are good reasons. Illegal immigrants, they're the ones you'd have to watch out for because you never know what you're getting. Bottle Baby, World Cup soccer topless would add to the ratings. Well, I'd watch that, but didn't they have topless darts on somewhere? And I thought, wow, topless darts, I want to see this. And I think I watched it once and then got bored with it. But I've seen your teddies, so that's it. Well, I mean, what happens next? Sean Moore, they've taken all the neon lights and signs down in Walking Street. It looks a bit naff. Oh, well, that's not good, is it? That's not good. I like the idea of Walking Street, looking, over the top and bright and illuminated and all the rest of it. Legan, hi Eddie. With your times in Turkey, have you ever seen a legit belly dance act? Just thinking of some of the movies that look nice. I did see a belly dancer in a bar in Olive and she's gorgeous. I've actually got it on video. I actually had it on a video on this channel, and she was dancing with some wongas, and she actually got me up to dance as well. Oh, she was a gorgeous Turkish woman, absolutely beautiful. And I had it on the thumbnail of the video, and she really, really is beautiful. But when I got monetization with this channel, YouTube demonetized that one for some reason, maybe because she was showing a little bit of flesh. So I took the video down. So YouTube spoils sports. But yeah, nice stuff, lovely. Yourselves, fake yours. It's Bobby Crush wishing he was away from his fat missus. I see. So there's a fake yours. Watch out, there's a fake yours in the chat there. Rent boy. Hi, Ed. Was too busy at the weekend and it hurts to sit down. You got a sore ass, have you? Just lying in bed watching you. enjoy the show. Okay, well, good for you anyway. Good for you. Good for you anyway. Nice to hear. Did you make lots of money over there? You know, those sad, wealthy old, lonely old men. Did you make lots of money from them anyway? There's a rent boy in the house. Rent boy in the house. We're not prejudiced here. We invite anyone on this show. Anyone. Nice to hear from you. Yeah, Paul Hoskin says, you had a football match, USA women versus ex-Wrexham players. The women lost 12-0. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll tell you what. Lord of Dreams is an imposter, I think. What is there? Barry from EastEnders. Rishi Sunak is English. What on earth is Toby Price on about? He's English, and he's probably very, very hard working and very, very intelligent. So give him a chance. Give him a chance. Ian Barron, hi Ed, just popping in and out as work. Why did it take so blooming long to start filling up the barge? Oh, I mean, why is it taking too long to get the planes to Rwanda? And why? I mean, because up to now they've all been talk, haven't they? They've all been talk. I actually like the idea of the barge. It's big and it's ugly and it sends a message. And whether it'll work or not remains to be seen. But it's not that it's going to take on all the illegal immigrants. It's that it's going to send a message. That's the important thing for them to stop coming here. Anyway, Ian, nice to hear from you. Anyway, nice to hear from you. Daniel Kelly, bottomless female darts. Oh, I like the sound of that, especially nice and hairy. And that's really, really sexy, that, isn't it? You know, a girl with a little, a little mini with a nice bit of bush. Oh, no, I like all that. Yeah, I'm all for that. John Mitch, Eddie, have a look at yourself on your videos from 4 months ago and compare yourself in your most recent vids. There is a noticeable difference in your weight. Really. I haven't weighed me. You can't get a set of scales anywhere. I actually went into town the other day, and you used to get shops and chemists with scales outside. I haven't stood on any scales, but anyway, nice of you to say so. Anyway, John, nice of you to say so. AJ, Ed, what happens when they come ashore in Dorset? Imagine having young daughters. I know, terrible, dreadful thought. Absolutely dreadful thought. Yeah. That is really, and anyone who thinks that they're letting these asylum seekers come into all the poor areas, that's not true, because Dorset is an affluent part of the country. But imagine, I know, I'd lock the daughters, away. I mean, you can't blame any parents for being really, really, really worried about them. Dreadful. Yeah, Ian Van, they all have waterside windows and you can jump out of the bed. Okay. Daryl Fox, well done for not drinking, mate. Doing the same, but not sure how long for. Thinking Vietnam this year. Thinking Vietnam this year. Yeah, I've been to Vietnam. Been to Vietnam many times. And if you go back a few years, on the other channels, Steady Eddie channels, there's quite a lot of videos that I've done on Vietnam. So, great country, great country. Martin Ryder, Turkish women tend to be very, very hairy. Funny enough, I've never sampled it. Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me. I like a nice bit of hair. I like all that. No, I think all women are like shaved. The modern women are all shaved nowadays, aren't they? Let's see, Vincent. I booked for Mexico in November, my fourth consecutive winter in Latin America. I think I'm over Asia. Well, I'd like to travel through Mexico. I have been to Mexico, but I'd like to travel through Mexico. But would people on the other channel, Steady Eddie Travels, would people really, really be interested in that? Now, I don't know if you've been watching Billy Blue, also known as Cheap Charlie. He's doing live streaming in Colombia right now. The last few days, he's been in Cartagena, and I think he's actually made it to Bogota in Colombia. But it'd be interesting to see how well his live streams do, because it just looks to me. I mean, I don't know how many people have been watching his live streams, But I've watched some of them, and he's a great live streamer, and I've really enjoyed his stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of response he gets in the audience from that one. I'm not so sure that people who watch these kind of channels will be as interested in South America as they are in Southeast Asia. Isa man, nice to hear from you, Isa man. Bangkok's Soi 11 bar area has been demolished, and most of the bars in Soi 7 gone. Soi 11, they're building a new hotel, but don't know what is happening with Soi 7. Is Soi 7, was that where they had the beer garden? That, during the pandemic, that was the place that was rocking and rolling. Is that where yeah. Yeah, well, it seems like years since I've been to Bangkok. Toby Price, they took all the signs down in Walking Street as the fire ends could not get in. When your bar is not making dosh, they when your bar is not making dosh, they burn it down. Okay, okay, fair comment. I mean, where I live, I mean, such bloody narrow streets with cars on either side. How the old fire engine could possibly get up those streets is beyond me. Mark Ryder, I didn't think the Nigerian football team was very diverse enough today. Well, maybe they should include a few Eskimos next time. Jordan Sinclair, are you planning to go over to Asia? I'm thinking of Phnom Penh at the end of November. But I'll be in Asia again. Don't know when just yet, but I'll be there again, definitely. Capitonian going in November this year, hopefully less tourists than in December. Nothing worse than arriving on an island in the middle of nowhere and finding 1 million tourists this year. So where are you going exactly, Capitonian? Bear in mind you're in Cape Town right now. Where are you right now exactly? Martin Ryder, Sunak was born in Southampton. I like Sunak. I kind of like it. I don't know why. I just do. Yeah, Bottle Baby has got the runs. Good luck to you, mate. Grant Hunt, hello from Australia. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Dino Taylor, would you ever go on Lizzo? Is that big overweight woman who's she got a song out? I've seen some kind of controversy about that. Crypto Chris. Chris, I don't follow women's football, honest, but the game was on in the gym earlier. A Nigerian team was not diverse, but England now has a few non-whites after criticism of the all-white team winning Euros. Okay, I haven't watched any of it, to be honest with you. Daniel Kelly, Eddie, when are you heading back to the land of smiles to show off your new physique? Well, I will be there. It will be nice to turn up there without a pot belly. I've still got a bit of a belly. I've lost weight elsewhere, but I think I've been off the beer for 4 months. So I'd feel a lot better if I'd been off it for 6 or 8 months or whatever. So we'll see what happens anyway. Yeah, Roadman's mum. Send them back to their countries. We're over on here in Ireland with them, all being housed in posh hotels and trying it on with young girl. That's sickening. That. Why all these migrants? I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Disgusting. Yours travels. He's back at the hotel. Hopefully, you'll come on tomorrow night, yours, because it will be great to hear from you, mate. Really interesting stuff. Telling us about the costs of everything there. Nick Ross, the pussy. Yeah. God, thanks for your info anyway. Jordan Sinclair. Jordan Sinclair, I watched the Bogota walk around yesterday. Yeah, I've been watching him. He does some great live streams. He does some great live, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of response he gets from Colombia, whether it will have the interest that that Thailand does. Yeah, okay, yeah, he's really really great streamer, really really watchable, really watchable he is. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Ian Barton, do you think 1 million quid is worth being chucked in prison for 17 years of your life and found innocent? I think that guy should get 1 million for each year, probably. Oh yeah, that was the guy who was in prison for rape, wasn't he? For 17 years, and then found DNA found him to be innocent. And I think he stands to get 1 million quid and all of that. It's very very sad. I mean, so I don't know if any money can possibly replace losing 17 years of your life. I really, really don't think it can. Jordan Sinclair, I watched the Bogota walk around yesterday. It was filmed with a GoPro. The footage was on one of the red light districts. The ladies look very hot indeed, but the place looked rougher than Asia. I haven't been to Bogota, but I've been to Medellin, Cali, Cartagena, and other places in Colombia. And a lot of those women in the red light areas, it's surprising how many bloody overweight ones there are. And and especially in Ecuador, the ladies, the street ladies there are, Jesus, they're like something out of a Beryl Coop painting. No, thank you. They wouldn't look at a place down at the social club. Martin Ryder, Eyes of Owen has completed his travels. Okay, okay, fair, fair comment. He does some good videos. Martin Ryder, Lizzo or Lisa Dale? I would have thought Lizzo because she doesn't smell as much. I don't think she does anyway. Paul Hoskin, would going by train to Europe be a good thing to do? Well, I've travelled through Romania by train. Easter man, mobility scooters, tribute acts, fat bears with tattoos who wanted to buy them drinks but won't have. It's Pattaya, the new Benedict. Really? I've never seen a mobility scooter in Pattaya. Really? Tribute acts, fat bears and tattoos who wanting to buy them drinks but won't have rumpy. But it's Pattaya, the new Benedict. That's good. That's really good. Has it gone down? I don't think it's gone downhill that much. I mean, I don't think Pattaya is really, really that bad just yet. I mean, there's still lots of lovely checks around. Capitonian. This year I'll do 1 week in Bangkok, 2 weeks Phuket, then 2 weeks unplanned, maybe Vietnam. Leaving 1st of November, return 7th of December. Can't wait. First year on early retirement, so I'm a bit bored. Oh, good for you, mate. 2 weeks in Phuket. Well, let's see. See, and even in November, you can still get a bit of rain, but good luck to you anyway. A week, that sounds bloody good. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Ian Bowden, yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. AJ, loads of barbers by me with no one in them. All new shiny shops, all from Turkey region. A lot of those barbers, they pass themselves off as Turkish, but they're actually from other countries. They're actually from other countries. I'll tell you what. David Coleman, I just got home. I like them thick. Okay, fair. Nice to hear from you, David. I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna have another hot chocolate. Back in a minute. Back in a moment. Yo! Let's see, where are we now? There we go. Let's see. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England. Yeah. Whatever she said, bloody women. Your Sour says, I go to the times, have a laugh at the lads with the girls, play lots of pool and head to the missus for good stuff. That is really, really, really good for you. Pattaya is great. That Pattaya is terrific. And Thailand is still so much good value. So much good value compared to other places. David Coleman says, Eddie, my waistline is 36 inches. I just can't get it low than this. I hear that my waistline hasn't been 36 inches since I've been less than 36. I hear that ladies in Thailand like chubby guys. Is this? No, I wouldn't say that. They like guys with money. Maybe you think they're like, there's a belief that they like guys with a bit of weight on them because they think that's a guy, who likes his food and he's likely to take me to nice fancy restaurants and all that kind of stuff. No, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anyway, it is a question. Anyway, let me just tell you first of all about something. I got the feeling someone's trying to scam me on the phone today. What happened? Tomorrow, I've got an appointment with the bank. I went to the bank the other day, which I very, very rarely do. I don't go into town that much because there's a load of crap. The shops are rubbish and all of that. But I popped into the bank. Now I have an ISA, individual savings account there, which is tax free. So they say, but it's a load of crap because there's no interest around these days. There's no interest on ISAs or anything like that. So I've kept money in this ISA, but you're actually losing money in this day and age by keeping money in an ISA because inflation is going ahead so much that a year later it may appear you got fractionally more money in your ISA account, and yet it's probably worth less. But finally, the banks are are giving better interest rates now. They're starting to give better interest rates, and like I've seen a better interest rate for this ISA. So I went into the bank. I said, "Can you change my ISA to one with a better interest rate?" They said, "Okay, fair enough, but you got to make an appointment to see the bank." They only had one member of staff on in the bank the other day. One bloody member of staff, type bastards. So they made me an appointment for tomorrow to come and speak to someone about this new ISA. Fair enough. And this is where perhaps you can tell me what's going on here, because I'm really suspicious about this. I think someone could be trying to scam me. I got a phone call today from some bloke. It was an English bloke, but it was a phone call that began with +44, which I believe that means that it's come from abroad, this call. It had +44 on the start of the phone number, yes? So he phoned me up and he said, Mr. Sweeney, you've got an appointment with the bank tomorrow to discuss this, that, and the other. I said, yeah, fair enough. Okay. He said, well, I've got some news for you. We've had to cancel your appointment tomorrow because Crypto Chris Cav, 0.44 is in the UK. So if you phone from outside, so if you phone from inside the UK, it still says +44, does it? Because I don't recall saying that before. Martin Ryder, 44 is a telephone code. Barry for me said, yeah, +44 is England there, but when someone's phoning from inside England, I've never seen that before. I always thought that +44 when they're phoning from abroad to England. But anyway, this bloke said to me, he said, we've had to cancel your appointment tomorrow because the person who was you're gonna have the appointment with is off sick. I said, fair enough. I said, well, all right, well, fair enough. Make me another appointment then. He said, well, what we can do is we can arrange it that over the phone, somebody can do the appointment over the phone, rather than have you come to the branch. And I immediately said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Because if you do that, I am not going to give my personal banking details over the phone, over the bloody phone to somebody. Given what's he going to ask, all kinds of personal banking details? I'm not going to do that. If I want to do anything with a bank account, I'll go in the branch personally and speak to a human being in the branch, in the branch. So if anything goes wrong, and I know so someone who I can go back to and complain about it. So you tell me, is this a bloody scam or something? I mean, they're going to change your bank account over the phone, and if it is a scam, how did they find out about the appointment? I mean, what do you think this is all about? Do you think I should turn up at the bank tomorrow to see if it really, really has been cancelled? Let's see. Let's see. Ning's black. Oh, what's that all about? Okay, so this it had point. When someone phones me from England, it doesn't say +44 at the start of the bloody phone call. Michael taking a phone call from an English bloke. Yep, scam. Yeah. David Coleman, it's why I have a little bit of physical gold stashed away at home. It's a good hedge against inflation. Okay. Nick Ross says it's a scam. Why would it seems strange? In this day and age, when you're told not to give details to strangers over the phone, this guy is going to rearrange an appointment, but not a physical one with me going to the bank, which I'm quite happy to do. But somebody's going to phone me over and take all my details over the phone. I wouldn't trust things over the bloody phone. I wouldn't trust it. I would not give my bank account details to people who I've never even seen or I don't know over the phone. I'm just not going to do it. Paul Hoskin, I had a scam call about my energy supplier. Okay. Daniel Mills, digital cashless currency on the way. Dopey Brits walking straight into it. Martin Ryder phoned the bank back. You see, the thing is, this call was quite late in the afternoon when banks are usually closed. What I'll do tomorrow morning, I will phone the bank. And sometimes when you phone these people, you get multiple answer machines, and it's really, really frustrating. But what I was going to say, I might just turn up at the bank anyway to see if that really, really is genuine, or whether the appointment really has been cancelled. 88 Ed, rare for the bank to ring you. It just seemed bloody strange to me. I'm very suspicious. It just seemed very, very strange. He just phoned out of the blue and said, we'll arrange. I said to him, all right, we'll rearrange the appointment next week. I'm in no rush. And he said, what we'll do is we'll get somebody to phone you and do it all over the phone. Really? Really? And how about signing forms and things, which you have to do? How can you sign a bloody form over the phone? It just sounds like a scam to me. Yeah, McLaren F1 race. Important question: Elon or Mark to win the cage fight? That looks like a load of claptrap, really. Gemini Star. This smells fishy, Eddie. Be careful. I think the moral is, if ever anyone suggests to you, we'll do it over the phone, don't. Make the effort and go to the bank personally. I still prefer to go to it. There are still some physical interactions which I can't see changing. I would never ever open a bank account with people phoning me out of the blue on the phone and asking for details. I just wouldn't do it. I just would not do it. And I told the guy, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I'll phone the bank tomorrow. But whether you can get through to a bank or not is another matter. If they're going to leave me hanging on the phone for a bloody hour. Nick Ross, Not over the phone, Eddie. Where did they get your number from? I don't know. I don't know. But they seem to know that I got an appointment tomorrow. Harold Batterson. Hell yeah. Okay, nice to hear from you. Borders boy, total scam, Eddie. Watch yourself tomorrow. Well, okay, well, I'll mention this. We'll find out tomorrow anyway. But don't ever give your personal details over the phone. Because if that was genuine, they should know better, shouldn't they? They should bloody know better. There's definitely some kind of scam going on between the bank and villains out there, because sometimes when a bank sends you a password on Messenger, they also send you a message to say if someone phones you and asks for your password, it's not genuine. So there's communication between banks and some shady bastards out there who want to rob you. They're definitely passing info between each other. Well, at the end of the day, when it comes to banking, I still insist on going to a bank and going into the bank and speaking to the people personally, because they know my face anyway, and I know some of their faces. Capitonian, agreed, Ed. Wouldn't do that either. Next time he calls, ask him what the weather's like in Nigeria. Good idea, good idea. Yeah, good idea. Michael Dignan, go, but wear a disguise. Okay. David Martin, ring the bank. Okay. AGA, go to bank. Okay. Yogi Bear, Ed, if you go in Google and put who rang me and put in the number, it will tell. Yeah, you're right there, because I've done that once before, didn't I? I did it once before. I did that once before. It's when I returned from abroad, and these scammers were telling me that I had the antivirus. And really, if you phone the number, it's a scam. It's a scam trying to get you to pay for money, for for the COVID test and all this kind of stuff. Oh. Lewis say, go to bank tomorrow or bank online. I do bank online, but what I want to do with my ISA, which is crap interest, rubbish, almost non-existent interest, I want to change that to another ISA where you can get a much better interest rate. And you can't do that online yourself. You have to do that with the assistance of them. Harold Batterson, report them. Okay. Lewis C, never do it over the phone. Nick Ross, better scammers in India works for the bank. It's he sounded like an English fella to me. Ross, why ask you to go to the bank in the first place? It can be sorted over the phone. Seems strange. Yeah, it does. Bryn Roberts, how did a scammer know you're being in Branchhead for an appointment? Well, because they're probably in communication with the branch. I don't know the full details of it yet. All I know is that he suggested this guy that I change my account over the phone, and I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing it, and neither should you. Martin Ryder, I get at least one scam call from India every day. I've learned some Hindi words, getting nasty. I love it. So I was really disappointed because I got a phone. I very, very rarely have my phone switched on the landline. But I got a call one day, and the chappie said to me about I'm phoning from Microsoft, and I believe you have problems with your computer. I thought I've heard this one before. So I said, hang on a minute. I went to turn the TV down, and I went back to the phone, and he'd hung up on me, bastard. I thought I was going to have some fun with that. David Coleman, maybe the bank thinks you were Nigel Farage. Go to the bank tomorrow, okay? Gemini, go to your bank tomorrow. Paul Hoskin, I let in some Jehovah's Witnesses in once. After an hour of telling them about my bar girl exploits, I let them go. like it. Yeah. How do you confuse Jehovah's Witnesses? Invite them in for a cup of tea. Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds bloody good. That does. Crypto Chris card, close the account unless they give you an interest rate. Okay. William, they send you a digital form. I say, no, I want to see a person. I want to come with something like this. When you start a new bank account, they're going to take the. I want to see a person. I want to sit at a desk in an office in the bank and see the person on the other side and see the person's name that I'm going to start. And if I'm going to sign any forms or anything, I want to sign it, in the presence of this person. I don't do anything like that over the phone. Never do anything like that over the phone. Running easy. Best go to the bank tomorrow. Okay. Yogi Bear. Many places don't have banks these days. Really? Well, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, if there's no branch, I mean, where I live, there's loads of there's of the bank that I'm with. There's loads of little local branches that have closed down. I can think of one, at least two of them that have closed down over the years, and they were good because these little banks were, a little bit out of town where you could find an easy parking space. And so they were pretty good for that. At least you could park outside, but they've closed down. I mean, the banks. I mean, even the main, branch of the bank in the town centre where I live, there was one bloody person in there the other day. One person. Martin Ryder, kick open the bank door, slap your old chap on the counter and demand to see the manager. Okay. McLaren, I reckon it's Lisa Dale's African lover calling you, Ed. Oh, yeah, could be. Could be a plot. Could be a plot. Yeah, running easy. Could be the guy who clones your Facebook account with his tatty. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Martin Ryder, Indians tend to do the IT, finance scams. Nigerians do the romance and 419 scams. Okay. Paul Hoskin, if anyone asks me for my name, I say Ida Bacon. Good for you. Good for you, Paul. David Coleman, Eddie, if you had a dump in Terminal 21, I would say it's the best. It is pretty good. It is, but I mean, because you got themes. Even the toilets are like a theme, aren't they? You know what I mean? After like a theme, that's really good. Good place. Matthew Cartwright, sometimes you have to ring the bank when you're trying to pay a couple of bar girls and the ATM isn't letting you take your money out. Well, think ahead, mate. Think ahead. I mean, don't even venture into that territory if you haven't already got some cash on you. Have your cash in advance, really. Harold Betterson, ISA interest rates over 4% now. I've seen them more than that now, but even so, even if they're 5% or whatever, then it's still probably below inflation. You still probably lose out one way or the other. Mike Licorice, I was waiting for 2 hours on Friday for the live stream. Where was it? Is it that the weekend live stream? Apologies, anyone, but I can't guarantee a weekend live stream because somehow I'm sort of away with the mix of doing other things. But Tuesday and Monday and Tuesday, I always manage to do it at 9 o'clock. And weekends, like a little bit hit and miss. Yours travels. Okay, I have stable Wi-Fi. It cost us €6 pint at the bar next to the car, so can't come on and this while I'm sitting there. Okay, that's €6 a pint. That sounds fairly ordinary. I mean, I've seen in some of the bars around Exeter, where it's a five at a pint. Okay. Yeah, there's a good one. Paul Hoskin. Money Supermarket shows you the best rates. Okay, that's it. And McLaren is also saying it's the supermarkets comparison meerkat trying to scam you, Ed. Okay. Hard Tulip, nice to hear from you, mate. And Daniel Kelly says, what can I do with all my cash or cash under the bed? It's, just let it be known public and someone will relieve you of it sooner or later. AJ, let's have a look at Martin Lewis. It's dead easy to transfer your ISA to another provider. Look for 5% at least. Okay, fair enough. He is really, really interesting, Martin Lewis, for information. But I mean, bloody, he's a little bit irritating, him, isn't he? Oh, let's see. Paul Hoskin, UK will become like Thailand, bank hubs and all the supermarkets. I think that'd be an idea, if they had your local bank in a big shopping mall, because at least it's official. At least it's bloody official. It's not some, I mean, whatever you do with banking, do not allow anyone to phone you up and try and get your bank details. Never, under no circumstances. Capitonian, Ed, now that you're not drinking, why not do some more physical activities when you go over again? Snorkeling on those eyes off Phuket is awesome. My second favourite activity over there. I once did a paddy course, but I never actually completed it. I did go, I did go, I've been snorkeling. I went scuba diving off the coast of southwest of England once. It was bloody freezing. I didn't like all of those wetsuit things that you'd have to put on. I didn't like that. But snorkeling off the islands of Phuket, I have actually done that, and it was beautiful, absolutely lovely. David Coleman, Ed, you must be a millionaire if they want to meet you at the bank in person. Far from it, mate. Far from it. Yeah, yourselves. If you think €6 a pint of Spanish is good, and you don't know Spain. It depends. I suppose it depends where you're at. I have been to Benidorm and I've been to Valencia and Alicante. Oh yeah, it does. That does sound a bit expensive. I suppose it depends where you are. Depends where you are. Martin Ryder. Valencia was €4 a pint on average. I've been to Valencia. I thought it was a bit dull, that place. Bobby Cuss is here. Nice to hear from you anyway. Okay. Tom Streeter. Any plans to go back to Eastern Europe again? Your Romania trip was great. I liked Romania. I really, really liked Romania. What I was looking at for this summer was Hungary. But I looked at all the videos on Hungary and it didn't look as exciting as Romania. It didn't look anywhere near as good. Yogi Bear. All high street banks will be closed in the next 10 years. They're chipping together to have a bank hubs nationwide. They already have the big meetings and agreed. Oh, okay. I wouldn't like to see all the banks all phased out. No branches of your bank, everything online or by phone. I wouldn't like to see that. I really, really wouldn't like to see that. Really wouldn't. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to be back. Going to be back in a minute. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We haven't had it for a long time. So how about squeaky door time? Oh. Yo. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Tampa guy, brick and mortar banks are going to be obsolete within 5 years, unfortunately. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like to see them totally obsolete. Wouldn't like to see that at all. Anyway, let's get a little teensy weensy bit grim. We've been on for an hour and a quarter now. Anyway, this is grim, but I don't like to shy away from even the darkest of subjects. So basically, the shocking news that's been on. I mean, people from outside of England might not know about this one, but the shocking news of the week was that evil couple who murdered that little child. He was her child, and the fella who murdered the child was her lover, and he's been given a minimum of 28 years in prison. She's been given about 10 years, and they murdered this little child, and it was absolutely shocking. And it raises this question again. It raises this question. Okay, it raises this question again. Someone mentioned it the other day. The question is, should we have the death penalty for certain crimes? I mean, this person, this evil bastard who murdered this child. I know it's very, very grim talking about this time of night, so we won't dwell too much on this. This evil bastard. They filmed him as he was being arrested by the police, and he's got like a kind of soft-spoken voice. He's a guy with a beard. He looks like a general. Yeah, he looks like somebody who could work down at the local grocery shop. He looks like someone your next door neighbor who goes out and does an ordinary job, and he looks like a very, very ordinary person, not somebody who think he's a child killer. But the question, I mean, I was so shocked at this, but we've seen it so much. I mean, people going about the murder of children and all of this kind of stuff. I mean, the fact is, the most high-profile cases, it's not the strange weirdo guy who lives in the end house. It was the one responsible. It seems like it's parents. It's stepfathers. These people seem to be the ones who are perpetrating these dreadful murders of children right now. So it's a horrible thing to talk about, but I don't like shying away from things. Gemini Star, that's a heinous crime. Dickie B, we can't trust the police in this country to convict the correct people. Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't trust the police anyway. I mean, the police are, but there's certain these, Nick Ross says an awful crime, but I'm against the death penalty. And I mean, certain crimes. I mean, when there's absolutely no dispute, there's no possibility that you've got the wrong person. Because I mean, the question I'd like to know is that if the death penalty was in force, if it was law, would that little child still be alive? Would that evil person who committed the battery on that child, would he have thought to himself, wait a minute, if I murder this child or I'm responsible for this child's death, I will get the death penalty. So therefore I won't do it. So that's the question really. Would this child still be alive if the death penalty had been in force? Harold Patterson, death pitted, yeah, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Tampa guy, special place in hell for people who aren't children, 100% death penalty. I mean, the thing is, the death penalty hasn't been around since the early 60s. I think Myra Hindley and Ian Brady, when they committed those horrible crimes, I think that the death penalty was actually enforced then, but they narrowly missed it by the time they came to trial. But the thing is, if you go back to many years ago, do you remember so many? There's so many cases where children are being murdered in their own homes, and they're being murdered really with the knowledge or the perpetration of their own mother or father or step parents or whatever. It seems to be happening all too frequently. And the people, if you actually seen this person when he was being arrested, he looked calm, like as if, what? You think I've done something? I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. I mean, if you go back to the days when the death penalty, I mean, certain people were hung, and some people were hung when they didn't even commit anything. You look at, yeah, John Reginald Halliday Christie. He blamed. He murdered women and children, and he was given a death penalty for it. But also, he blamed Timothy Evans, who also was given the death penalty, even though he was innocent. But when you come to when there's no doubt that this person, I mean, we've got DNA evidence in this day and age, this kind of stuff. When there's no doubt that the person perpetrated the crime, I mean, should we not give them the death penalty? If it was the case that I thought that if the death penalty was enforced, that this child would still be alive, then I'd say yes to the death penalty. If the death penalty had prevented this little child from being battered to death, then I would support the death penalty. Tampa guy, okay. Billy Bob, you need to be specific. Which crimes? Well, the one that I'm talking about. Ian Bowden, do the same to them. Yeah, absolutely. I did hear, didn't I hear something about that bloody? He was a musician. I think he was in a pop group, and he was convicted for being a nonce. He was attempting to. I heard that he got stabbed in prison this week. What do we think of that? Okay, Nick Ross, let them both rot in jail for life. Well, yeah, I mean the thing is, to be fair, I think that's a better thing. Let them both rot in jail. I mean, she's not going to rot in jail. She's going to be out in 10 years. I mean, the murderer, Ian Huntley, who murdered those two young girls once, his assistant, she's out of prison now. She's out of prison. And she was put in prison for a reason, but she's out of prison now. The idea of let them rot in jail. Yeah, that would be that would be the thing. It can be argued. I suppose it can be argued that rotting in jail is a worse crime than the death penalty. Don't forget, Ian Brady. I think he wanted the death penalty. Harold Shipman and Fred West, two of this country's most prolific serial killers, were both faced with spending the rest of their life in prison, and they chose to hang themselves. So, David Coleman, crime against children, death penalty. Absolutely. They'd get it in another country. They'd get it in states in America. America would have executed those people for that crime. They would, or they would have executed him anyway. But then again, crimes like, as long as crimes like this are still committed, Bobby Crush, social services are not fit for purpose. Just look at Rotherham. They all knew about the suffering of English 11-year-old girls and did nothing. Social services are all in the unions. Left it okay. Fair enough. Yogi Bear, the Moors murderers missed being hung by 6 weeks. My father-in-law was on the jury at Chester Court for that case. He would not repeat things. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, the thing is, the death penalty didn't stop Brady and Hindley from committing those crimes, because that was actually the penalty at the time that they committed it. Ian Bowden sickens me to the teeth, these stories. I know, because it's happening all too frequently. And the thing is, the idea that it's some bloody weirdo who lives in the neighborhood. If a child gets murdered, some weirdo in the neighborhood, people maybe tempted to, to target him. But the high profile cases that you're hearing all too frequently, it's their own parents who are doing it. This is happening in a domestic environment. And you've got to ask the question, if you've actually seen this person being arrested, he looked calm and kind of inoffensive. And like I know you said this a moment ago, I'll say it again. He could be someone who works at the bloody greengrocers. You could see this guy every day that you go for your fruit and veg or whatever. He could be stacking shelves in Sainsbury's. He just seemed like such an ordinary person. He did not look like a child murderer, not by any stretch of the imagination. So something is absolutely balmy. There's something wrong with the law. If people like this can have a little child and batter that child to death without thinking about the penalties, or there's something bloody wrong with society. There's something bloody wrong with society. Bobby Crush. I grew up respecting the police, and now I see them as criminals. I don't see the police as criminals. I see them as incompetent. That's what I bloody see them as. Useless. AGA, I understand wanting the death penalty, but it does not seem to work in the state, for example. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been watching, little videos on YouTube about armed robberies, people with guns, armed robbers with guns in the States. So it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't seem to work, really, does it? Not really. David Coleman, bring back the rope or axe. Oh, okay, fair enough. Bobby Crush, when they Henley and Brady you're talking about there, yeah. William 01, in the heat of the moment, people wouldn't stop and think about the death penalty. So, when this evil bloody person who looked like a greengrocer, when he was, casually battering this baby, if the death penalty had been in the back of his mind, because he must have known when he it's bloody sickening. It's sickening. It's just sickening. Nick Ross, no, Eddie, no death penalty. It never stops people doing heinous crimes. That's the last UK execution at Pierpoint. Okay, fair enough. Paul Oskin, keep him alive, but flog him every day for the rest of his life. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sounds about right. Mister, nice to hear from you, mister. Not been to a doctor for years. Well, good for you, mate. Good for you. Bobby Crush says public hanging on Rotherham Town Hall steps. Okay. McLaren F1, not being sick or dumb. Who are we on about? We're on about. I forget his name. I had pictures on my phone of this evil person, but there's no point showing his face. We're talking about the evil bastard, the misfit with a beard who murdered that child. David Coleman, the guillotine worked in France for 100 years. Are you sure, David, that all the people who were guillotined in France, are you sure that they were all guilty of the crimes that they were having their heads chopped up for? I don't think they were. I think there was probably a lot of innocent people. Martin Wright, I would pay good money to pull a lever of this. Absolutely. And I'd film it. I'd film it on YouTube if I could get away with it. Dickie B, it's unimaginable to normal people. Garrote was used as a death penalty in Spain and other places. And that wasn't that long ago either. I remember hearing reports that people had been garroted in Spain. This, by the way, this is my favourite. The Co-op Diet Ginger Ale. Lovely stuff. Beautiful stuff. Lovely stuff. It's a nice little alternative to beer. I mean, late tonight when you want a cold drink. Lovely stuff. Lewis say, yeah, but only there is proof without doubt, like DNA or terrorists going, yeah. Must be nothing worse than being hung when you're innocent like that guy back in the 60s. Who are you talking? Are you talking about Timothy Evans, who was played by John Hurt? Is that who you're talking about, or was that before the 60s? Yeah, Bobby Cross. For the death penalty, we need a higher burden of proof, not beyond all reasonable doubt, but beyond any doubt, using DNA, CCT, confession of witnesses, etc. Okay, fair enough. He said, man, the death penalty won't stop psychos, but what should we, but what should, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We should be paid to keep loads of them in prison for decades. It will be a deterrent for drug dealers, etc. Okay? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that off the screen a moment. If anyone wants to call in, sort of briefly, and say a few words on anything, or even if you want to call in and say that you don't like me, that'll be welcome. I'll put that on there anyway. That's a phone number anyway. I'll put that on the screen and anyway. Jason Finch, Eddie, what about the bag? Well, you're going to condemn the death penalty, are you? David Coleman, Eddie had my girlfriends use panties on the scene with the apartment. Okay. Brian Street, Pickled Egg and Christian. 88. Ed, do you remember that other gormless bastard, Freddie Parrotface Davies? Give us a Bernie Winters head. Bernie, I remember Bernie Winters. I tried to get a film with that, Bernie Winters going, but I can't really seem to get it. I can't seem to get. Somebody's phoning in. Let's hear a few words from somebody. Hello, somebody.
Hello.
Hello.
Eddie.
Yes.
David Marchant.
Oh, David Marchant. Lovely to hear from you, David. You've been on before. How's it going these days, anyway?
Too bad, Eddie. I've got a few more things to do, some more surgery.
Oh, God Almighty.
What I would like to say, though,
yeah,
was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago. Whoever it was in the authorities moved Maxine Carr 3 doors away from me.
Really?
Yeah.
God, you wouldn't want to hear them.
I was telling people that's Maxine Carr.
Yeah.
And people were having a laugh about it because it was Maxine Carr. Within 24 hours, she was moved.
You wouldn't want to live next to you. In for the penny, in for the pound. You wouldn't want somebody like that living within 1,000 miles of you, really, would you?
No, and she was still working a school up the road as a teacher assistant.
Are you sure, though? I mean, if she was a teacher, I can't believe that they would have her working as a teaching assistant. I can't believe that.
Obviously, she had different identification. Everything else had changed. But she managed to wangle her way in to the school, the closest school, to her house. And a partner then was working as a caretaker at the school. A new partner.
This is after those Soham murders.
Yeah. This is about 5 years ago, Eddie.
I no comment to make on that. No comment. I didn't actually. Yeah, Bobby Cross says, no way she get a job in a school. What about her enhanced DBS check? Yeah, absolutely. They'd have to have an enhanced DBS check, wouldn't they, to work in the school? Yeah. Yeah, they'd have to have a. Yeah. Yeah, but David Coleman says, unfortunately, we need the police if not for that the animals would take over. Yeah, I mean, Bobby, I think Bobby's got a good point there. She would have to have a DBS check for something like that. I mean, I've been mistaken for other people. I mean, years ago when I had my moustache, I used to get mistaken for being Bob Carroll, geez. Except people didn't call me that. They forgot his name. So he used to say, hey, You know what you look like? You look like you spit the dog.
Yeah. She was gone in 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Me mentioned it, and
Oh,
her hearing about it,
yeah,
she was gone within 24 hours. They
yeah.
moved up, left, gone.
We are well, and well, and anyway, so anyway, I mean, David, would you support the death penalty for like you must have seen the news about that bastard who made it? Would you support the death penalty for people like that?
No, I'd let him rot
Yeah,
in jail.
yeah,
Like Robert Maudsley has been left to rot in jail. He's
yeah.
the guy that Silence of the Lambs was based on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's never seen daylight for like 27 plus years. 1975, he's been locked up.
Yeah.
That was killing paedophiles.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the sad thing is, David, a lot of these criminals don't rot in jail. I mean, in fact, some of them have better lives than some of the people outside. They get food, they get shelter, they get TV, they get a comfortable bed, they get Wi-Fi. So some of them live a better life in jail than some of the poor bastards out of jail. They don't have to even worry about the council tax.
I do not agree with that one bit.
Yeah.
Keep them like Robert Maudsley.
Yeah.
Locked away in a cell, never to see the light of day again.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, maybe instead of our own cushy jails, maybe we should have something like the Bangkok Hilton. I mean, if they thought they were going to go to the Bangkok Hilton, maybe they wouldn't commit those crimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's the problem. But the bloody jails are too cushy. They're not really a deterrent for many people. I mean, do you recall the terrible incident of his name was Dale Cregan. He was a bloody he was a wanted killer. He phoned up the police saying someone had thrown a slab of concrete with he had like a Kalashnikov, and his intention was to shoot a couple of police officers. And a couple of female officers showed up, and he shot them both, and then went and handed himself into the jail.
Yeah.
I mean, so the thing is, I think one of the problems is that the actual prison system is too cushy. I think that's the problem, really. It shouldn't be so cushy.
Yeah, if it was more like where Maudsley is, and a couple of others, where there's no contact with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, at all. He doesn't get to speak to anybody. He doesn't get to see anybody. His meals are pushed through a slot.
Yeah.
So he never gets to see.
Yeah.
And he gets nothing.
So I mean, the thing is though, when you think about it though, but what would be the point of that? I mean, he's going to live in solitude for the rest of his life and then die. I mean, and the taxpayer is going to be paying for all this because you've got to consider, the money side of it. I mean, what is the purpose to keep him somewhere like that, just in case we find that he's innocent, so that we can, bring him out again?
He isn't innocent.
Yeah.
He isn't innocent. He killed two of the paedophiles while he was on being sentenced.
Yeah.
There was two in the jail. He cut one skull open and he started to eat his brains.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he went down to the prison officer who was on duty.
Yeah.
And said, I've just killed two up on some floor.
Oh, well. I mean, that's kind of a horrific. But I mean, what shocked me was like Dale Cregan. I mean, he's shot dead. I mean, one of the officers was named, Bone, and their name was. It was two female officers they answered this call and they were brutally shot dead. And then after he'd done it, he then went and handed himself into the local jail, the local police station. So I mean, he wasn't deterred. He was actually. It just. I think it's the fact that police sorry, I think the fact is that prisons are too cushy. People are not afraid of them anymore. People are not afraid of spending the rest of their lives in prison.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's got to be cushy.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be severe. It needs to be harsh.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Anyway, I think we've had enough of that. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. How are you keeping anyway these days, David?
I'm doing all right. I've had a CT scan. You've not found nothing else. I've got to have another biopsy on my lymph nodes.
Yeah.
See how they are. You've got to inject some dye into them.
Yeah.
To see if anything's spreading or anything, and keep on taking the tablets.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. So you're on the mend anyway.
Yeah, doing all right.
Oh well. Well, that's good to hear that anyway. Listen. What's this one on the screen? Jeff Pot. Have you spent a bit of the damage on the other guy? He did time in a tight prison with drug smuggling. Yeah, that's right. Jeff Pot suggesting that we should slam some of these bloody people up like in a Thai prison style. That'd make them think twice. Yeah. Anyway, David, thanks for calling in again. Anyway, we're going to end this now anyway because it's getting a bit grim, and I've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes anyway. But anyway, you're always welcome to phone in. Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay. Have a lovely evening, and I'll speak to you again sometime. Okay. All the best, mate. Cheers. Thanks for calling in. Cheers. Okay, so anyway, that's David Martin. Okay, so we're going to finish off on that one anyway. It's been on for an hour and 40 minutes now, and it's time to have my late night. It's time to have my late night snack anyway. I'm going to have. I've done some shopping at the Co-op. Yes, not the branch of the Co-op. The bloody a tin of chicken soup is now £1.90. Christ almighty. It's a good job I gave up the booze because my shopping is so much cheaper now. But otherwise, the cost of food now is just going up so much. Anyway, I'm going to finish now. We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock UK time. Thanks, everybody. We've got other things to talk about tomorrow. Hopefully, Yoz will come on tomorrow because he's got some really, really interesting stuff to tell us about the cost of all the things in Spain and France and all of that. Really interesting. So hopefully he can pay us a visit tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to take that off the screen now. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So have a lovely Tuesday and see you tomorrow at 9. All the best, guys. Cheers.